Okay. Well, hello everyone. Audio seems to be going through okay, which is good. So yeah, rather than working through some Mage's Outpost stuff today, I'm just trying to get some overlay stuff set up. Um, so right now, I have also kind of learning how to work with OBS because it's new to me. So we've got some transitions here that I'm flipping back and forth. Um, Now obviously I have this starting theme, and this is kind of the theme I'm going to be going with. I originally grabbed an overlay that looks like this, but I don't really prefer the green and red, or the green and purple, and this is actually mostly video content in the background, those things running, so it's not like I can change the colors, which is kind of annoying. So what I am going to do is grab all of the other versions of this package. It's the subtle package on Stream Elements. And I'm just going to start setting those up as sources for my OBS because I need those there. Now, obviously, I am not going to be showing you my actual OBS. I am just in the process of setting this up. So, apologies if you're hoping for some sort of demonstration. That is not how I plan on doing this. Okay, right back. Beautiful. Hmm. I don't love this. There's a problem with the starting stream that keeps happening that essentially results in the actual video not running in the background. Again, we have this back and forth that we've got going on here. If I transition to ending, we can see that that one's also doing the same thing. But if I transition back to my start element, there seems to be an issue with it, in that the animation doesn't seem to want to run, which is very strange. Now, if I move that out of source browser, I'm going to say subtle start, okay. Going to grab stream starting location, copy the link, validate the link, has the animation, and it does. Okay, we'll set that up. And now watch this. When I transition over now, you'll see that the starting is actually running. But now my Be Right Back is broken. And my ending is broken. Doesn't really make a ton of sense, honestly. It shouldn't be doing that. Hmm. Now I switch to cut transition, does not make a difference. It just does not want to run the actual video. Not for any reason that I can find, anyways. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Okay, well. Yeah, so I don't really know why it's doing this. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be quite annoying. I'm not really sure why it's doing this, or rather why it isn't doing this. Very interesting, though. I can transition between those just fine. If I do... Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay. All right, so it looks like I do have the ability to fix that then. It's not super difficult, but it does require a bit of extra work. I have to enter studio mode. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in here that you guys can't see, but it just makes me a little nervous. I don't know that 100%, so I don't want to throw it up on the screen. But effectively, by opening studio mode, you get access to two different... Yeah, right. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will bring it down so you guys can see this. Um, You guys can see this in a second here. So let's transition to this one. Yeah, there we go. All right, so if we click on studio mode, we're going to see that everything gets real wonky. So the benefit of studio mode is you have the currently running scene, which is down here, and we have our preview scene. So if I move to, say, start, we can see I can select the next scene I want without it automatically transitioning over. If I go out of here and I just hit start, it's going to go directly there, which is not necessarily ideal. Let's say I want to go to be right back. Well, I know that video is not going to load. If I hit refresh, which just recaches the information, it restarts the video and I can hit transition here. And it will transition over. Now it's worth mentioning that this one, that is not the one that it's doing. It's utilizing this scene transition down here, which is set to 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second. I'm not 100% sure why. But it's fine. See, there's like fade to black, cut, fade, etc. If I do one of these, now see, that's nice. I don't love the color that I picked. You can do a fade between, you can do a fade to color, you can do a luma wipe, you can do lots of different things in here. Let's go back to fade to color, and I'm gonna try to find my okay. But if we're going to do that one, it needs to be longer because okay, so that's not the end of the world. But yeah, so I've got a couple different setups here. If I take a look, I have this one, which is set up as my generic dev streaming option. It is not configured beyond just displaying everything. This is an entirely unconfigured one. And then I have this one, which is actually the one I'll probably use most of the time. I still have some tweaking to do though. As you can see, it has some information along the bottom there for you guys. Interesting, it hides my mouse. But yeah, so information about who's followed, etc. I need to do some tweaking because it is still very generic and not correct. And yeah, that's pretty fine. So, in terms of actual setup, actually, you know what, we'll leave it open. We'll open up an actual project here. So in terms of actual setup, what I have right now is I have this set to run from OBS over to I have this set to run from OBS over to Restream.io. And then Restream.io passes the stream on to both YouTube and to Twitch. Simulate. Oh, yeah. So now I have to figure out how I went about setting this up, because I had semi-recently done something in here that configured my the reason that it comes up with a bunch of test information is because I recently ran a test. With some test information. Yeah, okay, so it's coming from here. Interesting. It's coming from the session data. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. So there is wow, that's wild. So there's kind of two sections to stream elements. One is for the one is for overlays and one is for elements, which is a new thing. Overlays seems to be the, I would say, slightly more well built out thing, because there's a lot of other information in here that's harder to locate on the other page. But if you configure the session data here on labels, it sets all of the defaults for the page, and that's interesting. So if I hit save changes, I go back to my OBS Studio and we switch back to game streaming. I don't know what it's going to do, honestly. I think it might keep those weird values for now. It'll probably keep them until next stream, which is, I guess, not super ideal, but it is what it is. Oh no, there we go. Okay, so if I refresh it, then we get a bunch of correct information. That's better. Okay. So I can leave them blank, or I can actually set session data through the overlay page. How interesting. Very, very interesting. There's not a whole lot going on there, but that's good to know. Okay. So yeah, that's basically everything that I think I wanted to do today. I've got the start screen. sorted. I don't love the fade to color, honestly. It's just very jarring. I think what I might do is switch to just the generic fade between. Now, fading between these is a little rough. Because they're very the same. But the actual transition from there to the page that you guys will be looking at, it's not bad. If I transition to the other one, to be right back. Okay, yeah, 1.5 seconds, that's pretty good. And then we have our end stream, which again, you can refresh, reset, and transition to. Very interesting. Okay, well, what do you know? Learning stuff every day. Oh. Now the only thing I have left to do is figure out how rating works because I know that I can do it. I have seen this as a thing before. Oops. I'm just closing all the things that I don't want to close. I know there is a rating button somewhere. I don't think it was on the... Is it in the actual... Yeah, so I have like an actual raid button on Twitch, but I feel like I shouldn't necessarily need to do that. I'm gonna have to look into that, I think, because realistically, um, I don't want an Augustine switcher. That's not super. Okay, well, let's see if I can't make this work. If we go to raid channel. Yeah, so we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna see how this goes.
This part looks the same to start.